Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Afterthoughts from Cobrinha's in Los Angeles. This week's episode is going to be featuring Karen Tran, our first lady on the show. She's a brown belt here at Cobrinha's, and she has been a brown belt for a little over a year now. She was promoted to brown belt after winning the 2014 Masters World Championships at Purple Belts. And she gives us a really good commentary on sort of what's going through her mind while she is training, and we will get right into the episode now. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Alright, so we have Karen and one of the blue belts here at our academy, Amy.
Okay, so usually when I start a roll, I like to just kind of feel out and, see what the other person is doing and like what their energy levels are like. If they're going to go kind of crazy, then I sort of have to match my intensity to match them. But usually, like, I've trained with Amy quite a few times, and I know that she's usually very technical and very patient and calm. So I like to just kind of play in that kind of level. Here I'm going for back take, but then she's doing a good job at posting my hand down, so then I just recover to closed guard, which is like my safety zone. And then what I like to do in closed guard is, obviously go for the arms, but just kind of grabbing and grips here and there just to make them think a little. And then, while I think about positioning my legs somewhere else, and then here I'm, going for a tripod sweep to get on top. So top is usually my go-to, my favorite of the two. I know a lot of people here play a lot of open guard from the bottom, but I definitely feel a lot more comfortable on the top. So now I'm establishing a side control by just being patient, and then just trying to control her hips, and then slowly moving to her neck, just following her a little, not staying too heavy. Trying to stay heavy but loose at the same time, so I can eventually just kind of slide on over to mount there. And then from mount, again, don't want to be too stiff, because that's, as soon as you're stiff like a log, you're going to get flipped, and it's happened to me a lot of times. But just trying to stay loose and then move with her movement as well. Establishing, trying to establish grips on her opposite hip, so if she tries to turn, then I can sort of flatten her out a little bit more. So she's trying to like frame and trying to recover her guard, but I'm really trying to just keep that real estate of like her between her head and her shoulders pretty much controlled, so I can get into like a better position here. And then again, so she, you're not trying super hard to stay in mount, just so we can keep moving and keep doing stuff. So transitioning between mount and then side control, and and then just so for the purpose of training, like, I'm not going to just like sit on top of her for like 7 minutes. Right. So just moving back into like for both of us to be in open guard, and then here I go for collar drag to single leg, which is kind of like one of my favorite moves that I've learnt since I've been here, which seems to come to me very naturally. And then going for the single leg there, and then establishing side control again. I should really have my hips down a little bit lower here now that I'm watching this, but yeah, trying to control her hips as well as her collar,
And talk about why you would want your hips lower there. What that's going to help you get pressure, yeah?
Yeah, just a lower distance between me and the ground is always good, because it just means that there's less space for the other person to recover the guard, like push their knee and then like switch the hips to recover guard. So it's like that fine balance of having enough space for you to be able to move with their movement, but then for them also not to have enough space to bring their knee in to recover guard. And then here I'm trying to practice my open guard a little bit more. It's definitely one thing that I'm not that comfortable with. I mean, it's like I said before, my top position is definitely where I feel most comfortable, so I try and play my bottom game a little bit more in training, just so, it's something that I can practice more, because that's what training's for. And then here I'm getting, kind of pretzeled up a little, which is always great for the neck. And then, so she's trying to flip me over, and then if it wasn't for the wall there, I think I would have tried to swim under and then gone for her back again. And then, grip fighting is really important, so always just keeping busy with, either breaking their grips and trying to regroup on, where you're in control.
You working on that knee bar you like?
Oh yeah, the rolling. It's not so much, I guess, not so much the knee bar, but just going from just rolling into sort of like the knee bar kind of transition, I would call it, because obviously I'm not going to pull knee bars on lower belts that aren't used to it, but just more so I can get used to the idea of just that being a tool to utilize, because moving into brown belts, obviously knee bars and toe holds are very much on the palette of things to use. So really just trying to get comfortable with that part of the body. And so when I'm going with a lower belt, I'll just keep that in mind to just kind of move in those areas, but obviously not crank the submission or anything like that. And then, so we ended up in triangle here. I think, I'm trying to sort of create angles to either finish the triangle, or, if it's a little bit loose, then I'll, practice the omoplata. Which, I didn't really have her elbow there, so I wasn't able to finish that, so just transitioning into the back. I'm seeing a lot of things that I could have done, but yeah, always just really trying to keep a really close distance wherever I am, whether it's on top or on the back. Just minimizing that distance as much as possible.
Right. There's no pressure. Well, that's the role.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for coming on.
Thank
Had a
you
lot
for
of fun
having me.
filming you and listening
Thank
to you
you.
talk about it. That was the first lady on the show. So yeah, that was awesome. So you've been training with Cobrinha for 5 years, right?
Yes, I came here in, I believe it was just after Worlds of 2011. So coming up to 5 years, 2016 will be my 5th year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And that was right after you moved from Australia.
Yeah.
You started training in Australia, right?
I was training in Australia for a few years, and then I moved out to LA for a job opportunity, and then that was in February of 2011, and then I basically started at Cobrinha's in July. So yeah, not long after I settled in here. So.
I got you. How long? What belt were you when you came in?
I was a blue belt when I
You're
came
blue
to Cobrinha's. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on and doing it. I'll let you go. Get out of your hair here, and thank you guys so much for watching the show. Make sure to leave requests for instructionals in the comments section there. Also, keep an eye out for our next episode of Afterthoughts, which should be featuring one of the black belts here, Jimmy Tang. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good week.